Hi guys, it's day 84 of the national lockdown here in South Africa. We are still on level 3 and it's also my birthday. I've been redoing this video quite a few times because there's a lot of interruptions and I don't have editing software. Right, so we are still on level 3 and last night the president of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, did a speech. I actually read his speech. I didn't go listen. I read his speech, and I certainly saw a lot of waffling. I think people would appreciate it if you got to the point. Just, just get to the point. It's like let's go there. Right, guys, we have decided to do this. Blah 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 blah. You also brought up the increase of violence towards women and children. I totally get that, but get to the point. My only concern about the whole thing about violence against women and children is that it's been a problem every single year. 2 years in a row, women and children and men who are supporting women and children wore black and they walked to Parliament telling government to sort this shit out with regards to gender based violence. And here we are, level 3 lockdown. The ban of booze is being lifted. And it just feels like everyone's gone crazy. They're also considering of banning booze again, which um, is kind of unfair in a sense because I'm a responsible adult. I know the difference between right and wrong. So why should the whole country suffer because one person is irresponsible? But moving along, in his speech, he did say changes to level 3 regulations. The following activities will be allowed at level 3 with strict health protocols in place. Now, earlier this month, they did state that you can go to churches, synagogues, and mosques, and most of them have stayed closed because of they didn't feel the need to be open. Um, yeah, and these regulations should have been this should have been done last week or the end of the first week of June because they did state that when we were going from level 4 to level 3 of lockdown, that there was going to be some stuff being lifted and nothing materialized besides going to church. So here are the regulations. Restaurants for sit-down meals with limited capacity. Before the lockdown, some restaurants were allowed to you were only allowed to have 50 people within the establishment, and that was including staff. So if you had 15 staff, you could only allow 35 people. Now, my brother works in the restaurant business, and his boss left the restaurant. And because they reached their quota, he had to stay outside. And he stayed outside for 45 minutes. I mean, if he had a lot of things to do, well, sorry, bro, you have to wait outside. So yeah, and then personal care services, including hairdressers. So that is quite a nice thing that it's finally allowed to happen. Um, they haven't established what the protocols would be for these level regulations. I mean, these new lifted bans, whatever. You know what I mean? Because I personally didn't think why a hair salon could not still operate in level 4, to be honest. Or even the beginning of level 3. It's the most hygienic place to be. I mean, hello. I just didn't understand that. Conferences for work purposes. If you're gonna have a conference, go onto Zoom. That's stupid. Commercially licensed accommodation, but not home sharing services. I think that's Airbnb. But my thing is, okay, you go to a hotel, you leave the hotel, it gets cleaned, sanitized, what have you. So if you do an Airbnb, right, they clean the house and you're there for a week. When they leave, they clean the house again. I don't know about that. Um, they just say here cinemas, theaters, and casinos with limited capacity. Now, okay, cool. You can now go and watch a movie at Ster Kinnickle or New Metro. You can go to a theatre. I just don't know how they're going to social distance themselves. I saw. What was I watching? Was I watching something on the news? Yes, I was watching something on the news, and there was some area, and no one was social distancing. I just don't understand it. I mean, if I was a journalist and I saw that, I would call them out. I'm like, dude, social distance, wear a flippin' mask. But anyway, I'm not too sure how they're going to do that. The theatre's being open. It's going to be interesting because I'm currently in a production called Twelfth Night by William Shakespeare, and we've been rehearsing for a while, but only like once a week. So it's going to be interesting to see what that's going to be. Non-contact sports, including golf and tennis. I thought that was already done. But anyway, sorry soccer, sorry rugby. I think you can still play cricket, baseball, hockey. Well, not hockey. Hockey's very close. Sweat. Um, Level 3 restrictions remain in place. Places of worship with 50 people or less, depending on the size of the venue and following strict health protocols. Funerals with specific restrictions. Workplaces and work conferences with social distancing. Agricultural auctions. Okay, that's like farm life bidding. Professional non contact sports matches with no spectators. So these restrictions remain in place. Okay, I get it. Level 3 restrictions remain in place. You must remain home at all times except two. Exercise between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., not in groups. How do you police this? I have seen groups walking together throughout this week. I'm like, really? Move children between homes where permitted. Now, this is the issue that I have is that we still can't see family and friends, right? Um, so, what happens if you have two parents who actually need to go to work? What about the kids? Now, I have a family friend who drops her kids at her mother's house, right? Is that still permitted? You are transporting kids. What I don't understand about not being able to see family or friends is that if you practice social distancing, oh, I swear to God, I'm not drunk. If you can practice social distancing as well as hand sanitizing and keeping everything cool, I don't see why not that you can't go and visit your family or friends. Because I swear to God, if your clothes can transmit this virus, none of us will be able to be allowed to leave our houses. Because let's look at this way. I can go visit my gran, right? My gran lives in her own house with my aunt. I can go there. It will be exactly the same thing if I went to a shopping mall. I went to a shop, I'm not going to name it, in Steenberg, the upper part of Steenberg, and there were no people practicing social distancing whatsoever. You might as well just spit and, yeah, whatever. So, yeah, and then it says here attend a place of worship. Always wear a mask in public. The entire country remains at level 3 to contain the spread of coronavirus. So that is happening. Still, there's no news with regards to the ban of cigarettes, which a lot of people were looking forward to with regards to the president's speech. I knew for a fact that it wasn't going to happen because it's in a court case, well, in a hearing. So we haven't heard anything from that, and we also haven't heard anything about the level 4 and the level 3 being unconstitutional. Because if that's the case, then all of this doesn't matter. The president did say that it's vitally important to get the economy going because we are going to be in the shits. So I'm going to look forward to. This is hilarious. Sorry. I'm going to say this. This is hilarious. So I can't see family or friends, but I can tell them, okay, we're going to go watch Black Widow when it ever goes out. We're going to go watch Black Widow together. So we're going to all meet up there and we can socialize. We can go to a restaurant and have coffee, but we can't go to everybody's houses. I'm like, I don't understand. I don't understand. I must go. I have been drinking through the later part of the day, but I am sober, but I'm very energized. It's probably because I had a WhatsApp conference call with my friends from high school. Yes, I'm 35 and still friends from high school. This is a long video, so this is probably going to be put up tomorrow. I won't have enough internet to put this up. Maybe I should stop talking. So yeah, so there you have it. This is day 84, and I will see you tomorrow.